Jujutsu Kaisen Chapter 261 spoilers reveal that Yuta steals Kenjaku's cursed technique CT to bring back GOJO. The chapter opens with Yuji Itadori planning to crush Sukuna's heart. Sukuna begins preparing his domain when he sees Satoru Gojo standing before him. Sukuna is initially in disbelief but soon realizes it isn't Gojo. He praises the spirit, calling it as Yuta Okatsu. The spoilers then shift to a flashback where Rika devours Kenjaku to copy his cursed technique, allowing Yuta to switch bodies. Maki is against this plan, while Hakari sees it as a last resort. Kusakabe questions Shokoyeri about the feasibility of copying Limitless or Six Eyes. Shoko explains that Limitless is useless without Six Eyes, and Six Eyes cannot be copied as it is part of Gojo's physical body. Maki expresses her concern for Yuta and asks about the consequences of copying Kenjaku's CT, given that a sorcerer can only copy a technique for 5 minutes. While Yuta is unsure, Mei theorizes that Yuta might have to live in Gojo's body forever. Yuta is willing to take this risk as a last resort. However, the majority of other sorcerers disagree, saying it is inhumane. Still, Yuta cannot help but argue that it would be useless to try to be humane when one is fighting one of the strongest Jujutsu sorcerers in history. He asks if they are scared of turning into monsters to face Sukuna, which Maki answers, telling him they have nothing but worries for him. Yuta, however, is undeterred, pointing out that everyone has always pushed Satoru Gojo to bear the burden of being a monster. Thus, if Gojo were to die, he is ready to take on that role. The flashback continues with Yuta telling Gojo about his plan to steal his body. Gojo is fine with the plan as he has no intention of losing and doesn't care about his body after death. They discuss their descent, with Yuta being a descendant of the Fujiwara blood and Gojo suggesting he is of Sugawara descent, making them distant relatives. Gojo then asks his students to leave, not wanting them to witness the potentially bloody outcome of his actions. He tells Yuta that if he loses to Sukuna and the older sorcerers perish, Yoshinobu Gakugenji would take over Jujutsu headquarters, ending the chaos post-Shibuya incident. Yuta asks Gojo not to become a monster alone again. The spoilers then show Amai, Yuji's friend, explaining his CT, which allowed him to amplify and output sugar. Shokoyeri adds Amai to the medical team to support Nida, supplying sugar to their brains using his CT. Back in the present, Yuta gets slashed by Sukuna and suffers some grave injuries that make him need medical attention in the medical ward. With a CT, Arata manages to stop the bleeding of Yuta's wounds, let alone deepening them. Shoko instructs Yuta on his next steps. This is only possible when she has even stitched Gojo's dead body, and when Yuta has exchanged bodies with Kenjaku using a CT technique, then he was forced to use reverse cursed technique at its full potential in order to finish making Gojo's body. The chapter concludes by introducing Gojo's domains and revealing that Ryomen Sukuna and Yuta Okatsu are occupying his body. The narrator simply says that Gojo had previously explained the open barrier domain in Sukuna to the readers. Sukuna utilizes the Malevolent Shrine, whereas Yuta employs the Gojo's power called the Unlimited Void.
Please, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell.